Welcome back, collective. So we're going to have a timeless oracle and tarot card reading. Signs and synchronicities at the time that this finds you, it is particularly meant for you. I am recording on a Monday. Monday is associated with the moon, lunes, luna, these types of associations. And pretty much I always pray before I come and do these readings. If you ever get a personal one-on-one session with me, you'll experience the prayer and energy calibration meditation that I do to help clear the space, make sure we're connecting with the purest energy, purifying the channel, things of this nature. Things I always recommend for whatever your practices are, is take a moment to breathe, sync up, and connect with pure energy. And ooh, there goes the card. It's ready to pop. All right, we're going to shuffle these. To connect and reset and breathe. Signs and synchronicities. The moon, lunar feminine energies, divine feminine energies, particularly represented through lunar archetypes and figures. Silver, lunar, white light. It's like a silver, lunar, white light. So a mix of those kind of colors. It's a white, but it's more of a silvery, cool, cool as in temperature. Type of feel, type of radiation, type of vibe, vibration, frequency. Thank you, Spirit. So channeling the silver lunar ray of light. You may even, for those of you who resonate with dragons, dragon collectives, dragon beings, then silver lunar dragons as well. Could be signs and synchronicities. Either way, what is coming through with this channel is let it be easy. Let it be easy. Let it be easy. Take it easy. Embrace ease. Allow yourself to discern what really is that deep, not in a rude way, emphasizing it, but really discerning, and really discerning what truly is that deep for you versus what need not be. And also what, even if it is deep in a moment, could be transmuted. Yes, thank you, Spirit, for reminding me, bringing me back. Make it lighter. Let it be lighter. Make it lighter. Let it be lighter. Make it lighter. Let it be lighter. Okay, so Spirit, especially, yes, thank you, Sagittarius energy wanting to come through. This is recorded during a Sagittarius season, timeless message whenever it finds you. The Sagittarius energy was coming through today to support this silver lunar feminine. To basically say, and I love how now I hear a jingle in my neighborhood of the Ice Cream Man. And I've been hearing the Ice Cream Man song and more recently in the last several days, more than I ever have noticed or heard before in my neighborhood, at least consciously. So if you've been hearing ice cream people in your neighborhood, ice cream jingles, things of that nature, this is definitely a sign and synchronicity for you. So allow things to be lighter, allow things to even be sweeter, Spirit is saying. Allowing things to be lighter and letting that lightness manifest in many forms. Lightness in its connection, in creating space for joy, in creating space and experiences of sweetness, ease, flow. It's like the Sagittarius energy and archetype is coming alongside this lunar feminine to encourage and support you being in the receptive mode, in a receptive and thus attractive and magnetic vibration, and calibrating that so not only are you slowing down to rest and restore and rejuvenate yourself more, recharge your batteries more, honor and not only restore but also build up your capacity and doing what it takes for that journey, that ebb and flow. So for some of y'all, this is involving, increased movement, changes and approaches to fitness, to your body, to your health, to your nutrition. Essentially things you're doing that would not only like restore and nourish your capacity, but build it up. So essentially giving you like more energy, allowing you to feel more energized and more motivated and inspired and adjusted, well adjusted for the day and days ahead. These kinds of improvements. It's like while rest plus those types of changes are parts of this shift in this moment, Spirit is also wanting you to remember to hold space for joy, for lightness, for sweetness, for pleasure. Yes, feminine energy. Now I'm really getting a sacral chakra reference and pulse. Like doing what it takes to feel good, to nurture and nourish yourself, and to do that consistently and to embrace that being more and more the regular state of being, like letting that be more and more of a foundational baseline in your life. This is not to say that there won't be special and significant moments to treat yourself, to do something special for yourself. Absolutely, you're still being encouraged to incorporate that in your life and, gift yourself those things and those experiences and circumstances and luxuries. Yet Spirit is also encouraging more and more like you doing you taking care of you loving you prioritizing you uplifting you, and really living like an easeful life. Let that be more and more normal. With this collective, as we're closing out a 9 cycle, at least around the time of recording, you may identify it as simply closing out, cycles and seasons and things of that nature. As we're tapping into this 9 closing energy, there's this invitation invitations to let go of old identities that do not serve, to molt the skin, using the snake reference. It's like, what do you want to choose for yourself as your new baseline foundation? And are you allowing yourself to deprogram and let go of old paradigms and ways of being that really essentially run off of you constantly having to prove yourself and like always waiting for a shoe to drop, always waiting for something to come along and challenge the goodness, to challenge, disrupt, or take away the ease. Essentially, letting go of the final vestiges, the word wanting to come through. That word vestige has been coming up a lot in the last couple of days, interestingly enough. Like vestiges, vestigial organs. Okay, so light body activation, cellular activations. Okay, these types of paradigms, DNA activation coming through. Thank you, Spirit, 818. You're being invited into such a layer and level of evolution where it is letting go and shirking off survival mode type of energies, behaviors, energy bodies, energy attachments, things of that nature. This is about embracing the whole getting paid to exist, living in a high vibrational timeline where your energy and your vibration really is your currency, and thus you living your best life and doing what it takes consistently to live a high vibrational and easeful life will continue to beget that, like, with ever increasing exponentiality is what's coming through. And thus that requires huge layers and levels of courage. Spirit is acknowledging it takes audacity, boldness, and courage to live that way, because so many people around the world do not live that way. There are a lot that do, and let us not put scarcity on this rarity. Okay, we got to be careful about like binding scarcity with things. Ooh, cards just went flying out. Clean energy food. Okay, when you fuel your body with a healthful organic diet, you increase your energy levels and ability to focus. This automatically leads to more efficiency, better ideas at a higher vibration, which attracts golden opportunities and beneficial relationships. Okay, so this is already building off of what I was just channeling when I was talking about the wellness, the fitness, the care oriented, like physical layers and level changes, like doing what it takes to really be living a high vibrational life consistently. Um, for a lot of y'all, this is also, I just saw 1010 on the clock, and I've been getting a lot of 1010 speaking of like wealth and abundance and high vibrational moves. Tiger's eye may also be significant. Spirit is asking you to really live, like right now, in the circumstances, in the environment that you can, be living as that dream, that idealized, that highest vibrational version of you that you see in your mind, in your imagination. Like when you're dreaming, when you're daydreaming, when you're imagining, when you're visualizing, whatever verb is resonating with you, or all the above, about like that most fulfilled, that most abundant, version of you, the one that has like all the manifested things that you're wanting to manifest in your life. Spirit is wanting you to start 1111, engaging in practices that mirrors that version of self with whatever you have accessible right now. Okay, so for those of y'all who, building off of the channel that's coming through, just to continue giving practical and pragmatic examples. We're getting a lot of those. Thank you, Spirit. It's continuing, like if a version of you, that idealized version of self, I'm going to just say that idealized version of self, slash idealized version of you to keep it simple. If that version of you is eating a certain type of way or maintaining a certain type of diet or lifestyle, it's time to start incorporating more and more of that in your day-to-day. Now, Spirit is acknowledging you may not be able to go fully into it, right? Like let's say there's a version of you that is a certain type of, I don't know, like vegan, right? Or let's just say vegan, just to keep a simple example. Let's say, you're a certain type of vegan in that version, but right now maybe you're not there. Maybe you're vegetarian. So Spirit is encouraging you, like making more and more moves, like more and more vegan choices, like now, like getting yourself more and more in that direction and building up the knowledge set, because that version of you that's doing that idealized version of you is likely experiencing it in a thriving capacity. So while they'll always be learning, that version of self is likely already like in some kind of routine of eating vegan, knowing how to go about it, and living it in the most optimal form. So right now, this version of you that's receiving the transmission is essentially being invited to make the moves now. So you're building up that knowledge and essentially building up the pattern for that optimized version of self. Like basically this version of you is taking care of that future version of you, is literally building up that future version of you, manifesting that future version of you through simple and practical, step-by-step pragmatic actions, and like making the mini changes ongoing, the mini and micro changes ongoing, so that you then end up at that macro level result. All right. So this is what's coming through. And like Spirit was saying, Sagittarius keeps coming through, is let it be easy. This is why they're also saying letting it be the mini and micro level changes, enjoying the journey, enjoying the exploration, enjoying the trying and the tasting and the sampling. Very Sagittarian explorational, like embracing multiple cultures, like multiple dimensions, like multiple traditions, ways and routes, type way of being. Okay, we need some water. Make sure you got your hydration nearby. Okay, so with that, that was a really great example. Thank you, Spirit. And the same thing goes for some of y'all with like bodily movement and bodily fitness. And this is not meant to trigger any type of guilt, shame, or unnecessary pressure. What I am getting for some folks who have been doing a lot of work with the nervous system to, like relax and calm and ground yourself, Like, you probably have already been running into it. However, I'm here to affirm, reaffirm, confirm, and further encourage getting further into bodily movement, physical movement, fitness, um, physical practices, grounding, exercise. You can call it what you want. There's a whole bunch of different things out there, and there's really simple, lightweight stuff. Spirit has brought me to some simple, like, what do you call it? Essentially recommended daily Tai Chi movement practices, like movements from Tai Chi, like a 15-minute. I saw two different creators popping up on YouTube, basically going over these simple morning movements, like seemingly a little bit aerobic, maybe calisthenic, whatever. And that's just one thing that's been gifted to me, in addition to the physical therapy routine that I've been gifted. And so Spirit is encouraging, I'm noticing as I'm engaging more and more consistently in these simple practices, I am feeling more and more of the tension, like grounding and melting away from my neck, from my shoulders, from my body. A lot of the things that tense up and carry the stress and keep us in that like non-relaxed state. So Spirit is encouraging, continuing to make these kinds of moves. It's time to, because for me, an idealized version of myself has a certain layer and level of like fitness practices and like consistency to feel like strong and flexible and healthy, like literally not feeling like frail or brittle in my body and form, let alone wanting to, like have a certain physique, that's very, very real. I think it's important to acknowledge, for those of us who do have desires about a certain image, to love ourselves throughout the journey and be able to own having goals. Like, I don't like it's okay to want to transform your body. And I know I want to have more muscle because I have had pain in my body for years. And not only would I like the look and the aesthetic to see like what my body would look like with more muscle, I also genuinely want the feeling and that like physical sense of stability and security, let alone like no pain, or at least less. These sorts of things. So Spirit is encouraging this. These practices will continue to not only assist with your longevity and your wellness, it will further allow you to feel your nervous system relaxing. Like, your nervous system needs the help and support, not only mentally, energetically, and spiritually. It needs the nourishment and support physically, if not first and foremost, to be honest. All right, holiest angels of abundance. What's another card channeled message we have for this collective? Thank you so much. It is safe for you to receive. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. And notice, like, this one has a little a picnic basket type deer, looking at the deers. And this one does too. Okay, so deers may be synchronicities as well, like if you've been seeing deer or running into deer. This has got, I was channeling 1818 on the clock. I've been channeling about the receptive mode from Jump. Talk about the feminine energy. This is giving me Holy Angel Haniel, if you've been getting Haniel, and the Moon Angel as well. This is another sign and synchronicity for you. Especially at this time of year, at the time of recording, the time this finds you. This is in the last month of the snake year as far as numerology, like 2025. And there's so many posts talking about the horse year 2026 incoming. And that's amazing. I'm glad this information is circulating. Many people are getting, flashes and presentiments and hits of this energy already and inspiration. For me and the collective I'm channeling for in this now, while it's important to stay ready so we ain't gotta get ready, I've also been getting the message, hold your horses, in the sense of don't rush. Hold your horses. Hold and care for your horses. It really is a time to be nourishing thyself, to be taking care of yourself and your horses before you are off to the races and moving forward with ever increasing speed and momentum. Spirit wants you fully fed, fully cleaned, fully brushed, fully nurtured and nourished, fully manicured and pedicured type deal, you know, the horseshoes, pristine and fresh. These types of things, in addition to also enjoying like the holiday and winter solstice time and era. This is a time for heartier meals, deeper nourishment, the gratitude for life, the connection and tension and sharing, cultivation of peace, the sharing of gifts, whether it's the gift of your presence and your presence alone, let alone if that takes a more specific form. And is shared with another or with others or with tribe or with community or all the above. It is, while there's so much energy and talk about the horse year and the future being bright and all these manifestations and what have you, Spirit is wanting you to be incredibly grounded and receptive and enjoying of the present. Use the future and that future idealized version of self as inspiration, and a bit of guidance on things you can be doing in the present. And that's it. Let it be simple. Do that. It's not about hyper focusing or living too much in the future vision that you're not doing anything in the present or like being present in this life. Like the goal is not for escapism into the future by living, i.e. spending all of your conscious energy in your imagination, in your visualization, in your thoughts, in your ideas, while never landing them, actualizing them, embodying them, embracing them through physical, pragmatic, practical, accessible, tangible, some form like that actions. It is, you gotta allow yourself to receive the fruits of your labors now so that they beget more fruits and move you more towards that future idealized version of self. So thank you, Spirit. Yeah, it really is that simple. It's like, do what you can do now. Do what you can do now and enjoy it. And don't overexhaust yourself, please. Or don't feel like you have to do everything every day the same way, packing it in, rugged routine. No. Please and thank you. Yes, set intentions to do, certain activities X amount of times per week, maybe certain activities on certain days, and you can foresee, okay, this would be great for your schedule. Be realistic, be genuine, and be compassionate, and I was going to say be gentle, but genuine came out, so that's a big one, as well as, and be tender with yourself, and allow yourself to adjust and make changes as you need to as well. It's important to be flexible, realistic, and hold space for spontaneity as well. Being overly rigid and robotic is not, that is not the same thing as discipline, even though a lot of people interpret or apply discipline in that manner. The goal is for your discipline to support your devotion to yourself and to create experiences and systems of discipline that come from devotion, meaning it has the love, it has the care, it has the compassion, the space and the flexibility for that, while still having systems and tenets of consistency. All right, one more angel of abundance, then we're going to get tarot, and then we'll do fairies to close out. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Oh, we got 2 jumpers. All right, face your financial fears and let go of guilt. Let's see. And Spirit wants me to look at the bottom of the deck. Detox your friendships. Okay, then we're going to read that one first. Your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you're spending time. So be discerning about your associations and relationships. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. Okay. So speaking of, they want me to focus on this one first. Speaking of this time of year where you are being encouraged, to enjoy community, enjoy the giving and receiving of things, to embrace time to be social and connect. Yes, be out there, of course. Spirit wants you to be choosy and intentional, though, with whom you're connecting, with whom you're sharing. Do these folks? It's kind of like that when people tell you, it's like, if you want to grow, don't always be the quote unquote smartest or the best or the most talented, the most qualified in the room. Whether you want to look at that in general or more at specific categories or particular things. While it's okay to be in your friend group and maybe you have a certain expertise, you still want to be around people who are helping you grow and helping you learn, helping you to embrace creativity and co-creation and have an expansiveness. While they provide like comfort to an extent, they're not keeping you in a comfort zone of limitation. And this is also for me. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Yes, thank you, Spirit. Speaking of gifts and Christmas time, for those of y'all who have been praying, and you probably have already been noticing, but if not, like this is your affirmation confirmation. For those of you who have been praying for more aligned friendships, collaborations, partnerships, you've been wanting, while you've been doing all this work to be more of that high vibrational, idealized version of self, you're wanting to be matched in your social groups and community and tribe and friendships. You are being brought to those people and those spaces more. Trust your intuition, follow invitations that feel aligned, use your discernment. Spirit is answering you though that essentially great aligned friendships, connections, collaborations, maybe even lovers for those of y'all who are also praying for and wishing for that are here. It's time. Now with the pop-out cards, face your financial fears. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you in fact have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. Facing your financial fears. Whoop. And it just fell and flew away. It's like Spirit is like, we are done with that. You saw that. Wow. That was like a very weird. Okay. And now I feel the wind and a breeze, wind of change. Let go of guilt coming through. Let go of guilt. When you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. I keep doing that. Look at that. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. Spirit wanted me to read that many times because they're like, you're going to get it through your head, through your thick skull. So speaking of letting go of guilt, and the face your fears, financial fears, literally was let go of for us with Spirit's help, with the spiritual wind of change. I'm feeling, okay, now they're bringing back to the whole vestiges of the past type energy, letting go of the past energy. It's like the financial fears and stuff. It's like the energy around that. It's the loop of fear, guilt, and shame. It's like this little trifecta. And in reality, you've done a lot of shadow work and healing and advancement and embodying that idealized version of self, that abundant version of self. You have made so much progress that what Spirit is showcasing to me is that these energies, that trifecta, it's actually like very small. It's as if you more or less compressed it into a tinier and denser ball. A lot of the energy you've actually transmuted and like pushed away. However, like the stuff at the core, the heavier core, it's like that denser ball. You know what I'm saying? And so now what I'm getting is like, it's those little tiny remnants, maybe even just be one. But this remnant, energy, financially speaking, connected to survival mode, past version of self. Spirit is, because look, it's like we're just moments away before the clock strikes midnight. And now I'm getting Cinderella. Let it go. Let go of those old version of self. You're even if it's like you gotta let go of the rags and the rags energy and guilt and shame and judgment around the rags era so that the riches arrive in divine timing and fully unfold. This is a rags to riches kind of energy. The gag is though, is you were carrying almost like the guilt of of the rags, like wearing the scarlet letter. You took on guilt and shame that is not necessary. Those emotions really are only teaching spirits. And it's like, as you fully accept and embrace the lesson, as you have already really been doing, which is why we're at this point, as you fully let it go, it's like you really do let go of everything and free yourself from these poverty curses, financial vows, poverty vows, vestiges of survival mode, this struggle. You are moving forward into an era of prosperity, wealth, and abundance, for real, for real. Money for real, for real. If this is what matters to you. And Spirit is also having me say this boldly because I can even feel it on my shoulders. I can feel the protective like energy and fear like buzzing. And like hearing me say the words, I can feel something wanting to hunch over and protect, because it's like me naming and talking about money boldly out loud, let alone on camera. It's like, oh my gosh, like there's that program that's like, I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't want to be stupid. I don't want to make a dumb decision. I don't want to like repeat a negative cycle. That stuff is letting go. That stuff is melting away. Literally feeling the tingles and sensations as you choose to embrace the prosperity, the abundance, the wealth, letting go of the scarcity. That tingling is that stuff letting go. It's melting away. It's the physical body that's stored those memories and stored those tensions. It's having release. And you can continue breathing through that, stretching through that, meditating, praying, like allow yourself in your own shape or form to have these releases. I'm hearing like somatic release. So maybe looking up somatic breath work, somatic release processes, or if you've been doing those, this is a really great affirmation and confirmation for you around that. And like I was saying before, engaging in the physical practices to help the nervous system and our wellness, and letting go of what's really stored. I'm being reminded of that phrase, the issues are in the tissues. We are really letting go of the issues. We've done so, like for my collective, if you're still with me and this is really resonating with you, at the times this finds you, thank you, Spirit. What I'm getting, this message is legit about you actually engaging in these physical and material level, like changes and ways of embodying your best life, your healthiest self, from a state of ease, from a healthy, receptive, and feminine mode engaged in online, so that when you do take masculine aligned action, it's not in conflict, contrast, or opposition with the feminine. It's not in competition. It's with alignment. It's with support. This is my collective where you've done, basically what I'm getting is like you've really done the soul, the energetic, the mental, and the emotional work to really move forward in your life, to advance in your life, that now it's like, it really is, you're at the point where it's about you. What are you doing day to day? What decisions are you making? What choices are you making? And literally living your life in alignment with what you've chosen. Like living your life in alignment with the values, the principles, the abundance, the intentions, the dreams, the manifestations you have chosen and continue choosing for yourself. It's like none of that stuff from the past is holding you back at all anymore unless you allow it. And it's like you've done so much work on a conscious level to let go of guilt, shame, and fear. You've done so much conscious and intentional work, shadow work, healing, transformation, transmutation, change. Call it what you want. Call me on my sidekick. Like, at this point, it's like live your life. Do what it do. Be the you want to be. And if there is an issue, a block or obstacle, if there is more work to do, then you will encounter it on the way. It will pop up if it's meant to. I'm feeling like it's like fully like let this end of this year or whenever this finds you, the end of this cycle, the end of this season, really be about moving, acting beyond your overthinking. Acting beyond your overthinking. I'm not wasting my energy here trying to tell you not to overthink, shut down the overthinking, because if you could do it, you would do it. Here, what I'm encouraging you to do is your overthinking is an action and it's something that's happening. Yet you also do, to a certain ability, you have the ability to do, ideally, you have the ability to make other choices and other actions at some point, step by step. And then if not, of course, definitely reach out to, healthy and wellness professionals if you are at that level where you do need support and intervention, of course. But for those of you where you are aware that you have some layer and level of agency and can be making different choices, make some choices, do some different things, and be messy with it, be imperfect. So for example, it's like my sleep schedule, which often is nocturnal and way off. Now I'm trying to do this different, like I was telling you earlier, these fitness and physical moves and routines. A mix between that Tai Chi stuff and then what I got from my physical therapist. And so last night I was testing out doing like the combination of that routine. And I was really taking my time. Like I was not trying to like rush it, force it. I was being consistent, but I was taking my time with it because, at the end of the day, there were parts of it that were tiring, or at least tiring certain parts of my body. And so I ended up staying up like dumb late because afterwards I wanted to shower. And then I wanted to eat a little something. And then I wanted to like digest a bit before I actually went to bed. So I ended up going to bed like dumb late. And yeah, so is it a little bit imperfect? Like, is that the best? Actually, you know what? Let's let go of that evaluation, that judgment in real time. Thank you, Spirit. Do I foresee that approach being like the timetable for my exercise in my fully idealized version of self? No. However, for this version of self who's building up to that version, getting these practices in, is that ultimately like the best part about it? And like, can we play with the time more easily? But what matters most is building up the physical stuff. Yes. I know that was a lot, but you feel me. It's like, I'm getting in the practices and getting in the change. It may not be, quote unquote, at the best or idealized time for like a certain version of a schedule that I would like, to be under. However, I can shift the time. But when I feel inspired and when I feel called and I feel ready to embody that version of self, do those activities and practices, follow the inspiration, strike while the iron is hot, go with it, because discipline has to be built, and we can't wait for motivation and inspiration for discipline. However, a lot of times when we're trying to get something going and start something new, that does begin with inspiration and motivation. And then from there, maybe we pass the baton, ideally back and forth, between inspiration / motivation and discipline. Okay. And so if you're trying to go in a new direction, then go when that inspiration and motivation hits, because then as you get through the practices, then that will give some energy and some more reason, some more juice for discipline to come more online. It's harder for discipline to come online when there's like zero inspiration or motivation. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just more difficult. So I'm trying to use my inspiration and motivation to make my discipline, activation, and fueling that much more easeful, so that when I have the days where the inspiration motivation is low, the discipline gauge / tank is already high and fueled. That was for some people out there, let alone myself. All right, let's get some tarot, bring this down to earth, and then we'll get some fairies to close this out. Take a sip, take a sip. Thank you so much, YouTube Collective. I am really loving and enjoying being with the energy with y'all. I mean, I love, I do cross post many of my readings on all my platforms, yet sometimes there are certain things, like especially the long forms, they're only on here. This is exclusive, baby. This is for like my real, like, I want to say deep dive alchemists, change makers, and transformation, like intuitives and mystics. These are for my folks where you're not limiting yourself to the hyper contrived and constructed and manipulated attention spans of conventional quick burst social media. While we love those bite-sized nuggets and we can receive so much great value and wisdom in this, I'm not shading them, I'm not knocking it. We also acknowledge there is beauty in taking the time to be in a container and holding space for richer specificity, richer detail, richer nuance. And the gag is like, if you're really in this container with me, receiving these readings, running it through, your own personal filters, your own personal exercises of discernment and decision making, you are alchemizing while you are receiving and listening. Because I always do these things with the intention to not only provide clarity and information, I'm here to actually inspire and empower and catalyze and engage change and transformation and transmutation. True sacred high alchemy in alignment with divine will, respecting divine timing and free will for all parties involved. So none of this is overriding nothing. Ain't none of this superseding universal laws, right? Cards are ready. None of that. We're doing this the right way. All right, we're going to get some tarot because they're starting to fly out. We had a Page of Swords coming through. I'm feeling this is a little bit of the energy right now. We're feeling a little bit with this collective, no judgment. It's not hard body, but I am feeling a little bit of, it's almost like a little bit of this cloudiness. It's a little bit of background noise in the mental body, a bit of unease, a bit of insecurity, a bit of concern is what I'm getting. I'm not feeling overly stressed. I'm not feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling, at the moment, just not feeling as at ease, which is the purpose of this reading. This is why Spirit was coming through. It's like Spirit is answering us and be like, hey, we see you. And we know while you're holding it together, you're not freaking out. You're not inherently spiraling at the time this message finds you. We understand you're not feeling as secure or stable in this moment, likely because you're feeling some anticipation. And I love how this card came popping out and I almost like crunched it between the cards. We have the Queen of Wands. So here's the thing. It's that energy, that cloudiness is because you feel in your soul, in your heart of hearts, in your radiance, success, magnetism, charisma, like you're on. The spark is lit. The star is shining brightly. It's like you could feel it on the soul level, yet there's something your mental body is adjusting. Your mental body is adjusting. Your mental body is adjusting 3 times. You're calibrating to living your life, your daily life, as this conscious, embodied version of self. This charismatic, confident, successful, like fulfilled, powerful, capable, intuitive, supportive, blessed, protected version of yourself. It's like your mind is really adjusting, and I'm getting like digesting, really digesting like, oh wow, this is me. This is who I am. It's like reminding me of that song popping in my head. So this is love, meow, 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 meow. I don't remember the lyrics or how it goes. All I know is that line like, so this is love, meow, 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 meow. It's like you're get into like the energy of those words in that statement though. It's like, it's a surveying kind of statement, a surveying moment like, oh, so this is love. this is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. This is what it tastes like. Like, this is what it is. I've wanted this for so long. I've wanted to be in this for so long. I wanted to experience this for so long. And now I have it. Now I'm in it. And I'm like, wait, what, ooh, oh, wow. Ooh, it's that sort of thing. You are adjusting. The mind is adjusting and digesting being in love with yourself, being in your new self. So give yourself grace. And the digestion thing, that this angel with the clean energy food keeps coming up, wanting me to do a callback. So this is why also it's important that you are, getting lots of water, high vibrational, like, nutrients and nourishment, however your body, 44444 on the timer, however your body is guiding you at this time to ground and stabilize yourself. But really eating things that essentially will give you like healthy energy, like healthy nutrition. I'm not saying you can't have a treat or a snack or whatever. Like, you honor, that's between you, your body, and your guides and your wellness and your diet. However, Spirit is saying though, do eat things, and especially get a lot of water, that will help you at this time, flushing out the old and really feeding and fueling the high vibrational you, so that even down from that cellular and physical energetic level, that's also fueling and making more real and more actualized and more supported this version of you. And as you have that physical nurturing and nourishment and energizing and empowerment, that physical energy body being so high vibe is also going to help, like, I was going to say challenge, however, Spirit had me pause and say we don't want to say challenge. It's going to, that nourished physical high vibrational energy is going to help address and transmute this a little bit flighty, insecure, nervous, thank you, Spirit, nervous mental energy that's coming through and kind of lingering around or hovering around, floating around right now. So yay. Okay, Spirit, let's get one more tarot and then we'll get to the fairies. So this is love. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, we have the Nine of Cups. Okay, bottom of the deck is the Chariot, and around the corner will be the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom of the deck being the Chariot, which is sitting on top of the Ten of Cups. Yeah, you are like, when the wind, yes, thank you, Spirit, breeze. You're in a period of forward movement and progress and change in your life. However, this is a progress and change that is very much occurring from a space of honoring your feminine, that feminine energy, everything I was channeling from the very beginning, like embracing the receptive mode, because here we see the Nine of Cups as the next pop-out card. Then what would be around the corner is this Seven of Pentacles. Now be careful, because I am being called to these arms crossed and closed in these two cards, as opposed to the Queen of Wands, who's open there. So, great fulfillment and wishes coming true are right around the corner. I'm hearing Pocahontas again, just around the river bend for you. Spirit is asking you, though, to this is my Seven of Pentacles for me is often my card about, yes, being patient and keeping the faith. And here we see her looking at the plant, arms closed and crossed. And I'm feeling with her expression, I'm getting a combination of a little bit of restlessness, and and as a consequence of the restlessness, there is like a sliver of doubt that's trying to creep in and smuggle its way in. Okay, so what's happening, sevens and repeating sevens are going to be important for this collective. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Your growth and progress, things are going to be brought to you and things are going to pop up. Things are being brought to you and things are going to pop up miraculously miraculously, abundantly, and beautifully. Your blessings are going to take you by surprise. You're going to receive presents and gifts, some of which you may seem coming, some of which you may know about. You are intuitive and you did give specific requests to the universe, maybe to certain people. However, there's also going to be big things that are going to be quite surprising. Your bounty and your yield is going to be bigger and bolder and more beautiful than you ever anticipated or expected. However, the only way these big soul gifts, blessings, and miracles can reach you and get towards you is to continue being in an open and receptive mode and energy and making the most out of and enjoying the fullness of what you have available to you now, and continuing to take care of your projects, your passions, your plants, for some of you plants specifically, but what you're growing and cultivating. I need you to do it I need less control, less force, more faith, more surrender, more enjoying the process for what it is. So using the plants, the cultivation of the plants, and let's say I just keep thinking of apples and apple trees, and apples are often symbols of abundance. So that's got to be significant. Think of apples and apple trees. And I need you, however often you're supposed to water, fertilize, care for, as well as visit and talk to the tree and love on the tree. I need you to do that consistently. And then after you do that, walk away and leave it be. Don't overthink or over obsess or worry about what the yield of that plant is going to be, or that apple tree rather. Like trying to count chickens before they hatch, or count apples before they, I don't know, bloom, blossom, appear, germinate, I don't know, sprout. Either way, before the apples arrive, spirit is like, to give another example, because they're giving me the social media example. For those of y'all who are creating content, art, I'll just stick to social media, content. Spirit is like, continue posting, continue sharing, and your goal is to show up to the garden, to the platform, share, post, like cultivate, put out there, do what you got to do, engage, respond, right, to the comments, what have you, like and comment on some other things, that catches your eye, genuine, like be genuine, give gratitude, participate. However, it's like, and then after that, it's like after a reasonable amount of time, it's like, let go and get out, rather than hovering around and like staring at and watching metrics, watching numbers, like watching the views or the likes too much, and then allowing that to control your mood, to possibly discourage you from showing up. Because if you're meant to be showing up and sharing your voice and putting things out there, and spirit keeps guiding you to share what you're called to share, and the fact that you haven't popped off yet, it's because spirit is wanting you to be essentially unbothered and unfazed, so that when the numbers and the stuff does grow or whatever, it's not taking control over your purpose. It's like, it's your faith leading you showing up. It's spirit, yourself, soul, God, goddess, source, that's dictating when and where and how you show up, versus numbers, versus metrics, versus algorithms, like telling you exclusively or hyper dictating what to do. There's ways to work with these systems to honor them as the tools that they are, and allow them to inspire without like dictating or driving the ship. Spirit, it has been wanting you to essentially show up and share, and be grateful if you get like one view and one comment from one person who really, really loved and appreciated what you put out there, versus, 10,000, etc. It's like spirit wants you doing this for the sacredness and the true quality of what you are called to share, not for the quantity. The quantity can and will be a bonus as your divinely guided platform is divinely supported with its growth and expansion. Right now, spirit needs you showing up consistently on the platform, in your chosen container, sharing consistently so that you are refining your gift, refining your craft, continuing to refine your message, your artistry, putting it out there, and once again, becoming so confident, so secure in that energy stream, in that channeling that you're doing in whatever fashion or form it is, so that really these external factors, they don't matter or control in a negative way. They simply inform and inspire in helpful ways. They stay in their lanes properly as tools and as supports rather than masters and controls. Ooh, I'm feeling like tingles. This is a massive channel. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. This is true star power. This is true star power, and this is star power, honestly, from a confident and secure queen and empress energy and archetype. This is star power from somebody who's really embodied their celestial and sacred star power from the inside out, and you've done the work to really like fight and break through so that you shine from the inside out, so that whenever you have external lights, external spotlights shining upon you, while you can appreciate them, enjoy them, leverage them, once again, they don't control you and they don't dictate your value, your warmth, let alone your worth. It's like if that light moves, you are more than capable of having and shining and sharing your own. You don't need them. You may want them, but you don't unhealthily need them. Let me say it that way. There are times in life where we do need people as, social beings and social species, yet we have to be discerning about who and what we need to what extent for how long, because not everyone we're meant to need forever, right? Sometimes, like, ultimately what we need is our faith and our divine guidance, and for the spirit to kind of help like filter out and channel our needs and help us figure out, okay, what is the best for us, that sort of thing. All right. We're going to get some fairy messages to close this out. I'm feeling like this is a good sealing in of this reading. Congratulations, collective. This hour flew by quite naturally fast. Oh, that came out quick, speaking of fast. Practice, 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 confirmation, affirmation. This is what I was saying. With daily practice, you can polish your skills and talents and increase your confidence. That is literally what I was just channeling. You cannot tell me. And y'all heard it, you saw it, I shuffled. Practice, practice, practice. This is you literally being about it, being about that life. Doing it and doing it and doing it now, let alone doing it. Wow. And when I say the daily practice, remember, it's daily practices. However, I want you to hold space. This is the Sagittarius in me, especially. Hold space for variety and dynamicism in your week. Not every single day has to have all of the same things every day. It's up to you to discern, like, what are the things that are healthily, like, daily practices? Like, for example, like, I pray every day. Like, period. Like, for me, non-negotiable. And that is an amazing daily practice. However, it's like, okay, certain exercises that I'm now incorporating into my life, certain ones I'm going to do on this day, or like, this every other day. And then like on like, it's like, remember school, like A days and B days. So it's like on A days, I'm doing this. And then on B days, I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? So you could have your A days, B days, C days, D days, meow, meow, meow days, whatever you want. However, it's like, what are the practices that consistently are you like, look at it. I mean, this even looks like a dreamland, and there's a unicorn honoring your soul, embodying your dream, that idealized version of self. Look at the artist, and she's enraptured, dreaming up in the imagination, playing, connecting with where she wants to be playing, where she wants to be going, where she wants to be expanding. Yet she's playing in her current garden, her current circumstances. This is what you're being asked to do in your now. What can you do with the resources, the instruments, the tools, the space around you? What can you be practicing in this? So that eventually, yes, you will elevate, you will be transported, you will be uplifted to that next area, that next space, that next zone, the next platform, the next stage, the next garden, the next arena, whatever it may be. We're going to get another pop out. Thank you, please, and thank you, Spirit. Whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. Okay, and remember, we had let go of guilt earlier in another one. Excuse me, confirmation. Whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. And this includes, and always start with yourself first and foremost. Starting with the self first and foremost. So what I'm getting, that one's cut and dry. It's like you're moving into this era of wish fulfillment. I'm feeling this is about yourself, baby. This is really, I'm really feeling for my collective, this is really about you. There may be some other like remnant people, like remember when I talked about the remnants? It's more like the remnant connections, yet this is really about you and your like identity and who you're choosing to be and you moving forward like full-heartedly and full faith as the worthy version of self. Like basically allowing yourself to have your Cinderella moment, letting the clock strike midnight. However, it's like the midnight, like, that changes unto the bright new day and the golden age. It's not the ending of all endings. It's the beginning of all beginnings. It's the ending of all endings for the beginning of all beginnings. That's what's coming to and coming through right now. So spirit is like, it's like letting go of the anger, the resentment, the guilt, the fear, the doubt, the shame, all that Ikiana dense stuff I was talking about earlier. Lingering around, trying to like basically punish you. Trying to hang around, cling to you so that you punish yourself and thus block yourself from your blessings, your wishes coming true. It's like, spirit's like basically let it go, forgive it. It's for giving away, giving to the divine, for giving, for transmutation. That's why the violet ray and flame is also associated with transmutation and forgiveness and compassion. Utilizing that so that you can elevate and get into it. It's like, I'm really feeling spirit saying, it's like, I'm feeling your highest self, holiest self, and your spirit teams in a loving way, compassionate way, are also saying like, enough, like, we're done with 01. I just saw 01, 01, 01 on the timer, on the clock, on this countdown, 01, 01, 01. As I said, enough. This is why it's like, new, stepping forward, out of the void. It's no more that dancing back and forth. It's like moving forward, empowered, confident, aligned. Like basically doing what you got to do so that you live and embody being this versus like torturing yourself and staying in this insecure, like yo-yo-y energy, unstable energy like this. It's like you're beyond it and you're out of it. Bottom of the deck. Get some exercise. As your body becomes stronger, you begin to feel stronger in all ways. What was I saying? What was I saying? In this reading? I mean, the fairies are coming through with the realness. For some of y'all, plants, plant medicines, flowers, flower essences, crystals, and rocks and gemstones. These are all like maybe supportive, not required. However, if some of y'all have been feeling called to these resources, these tools, these amplifiers, 222, this is affirmation confirmation that these are also here to help support you with these journeys, with your exercise goals, with these fitness goals, with these wellness goals, with these physically embodied wellness goals and practices. This is saying get some exercise straight up, you know what I mean? But like I said, it's about the fitness, the movement, the wellness. Physical practices that are allowing the body and the tissues to let go of the old issues, let go of stored trauma, to really allow the nervous system to truly relax and calm down and get out of survival mode and get out of defensive mode. And if the physical body has things locked in a defensive, protective state, place, location, things of that nature, that physical action is thus keeping the nervous system, you know, thus on the mental and energetic, like everything is connected to, that stuff more engaged by proxy and by consequence. So engage in the physical practices so that you're further supporting the nervous system and the mental and the emotional, energetic, everything calming down, grounding, and relaxing. And also, like I was even saying before, it's like feeling the strength, feeling your power, feeling good in your physical form, letting go of pain. Like it's like a lot of letting go and doing what it takes to release pain on the physical level is the next stage of your healing for this collective. Like physical wellness and health and support, I feel like is a big part of the next chapter for this collective. Not saying that you need to be going about this in a really intense way, but rather you maintaining that as a very direct and highlighted priority and physically caring for yourself. I feel like that's the next layer and level of your embodiment and the next layer and level of your ascension and your awakening journey here on earth is what I'm getting for this collective. So yay. All right, so as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Book a personal reading. Links are down below if you want to connect with me, because we never want to force the fit. I'm Dil Divine, your friendly neighborhood queer muse, oracle, and soul guide. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, please, and thank you, as well as comment down below. Let me know what's resonating. Like, communicate, engage. Let's build up our community and soul tribe together. I want to know who I'm channeling for, as well as what are the topics, what are the things coming through, because we are on a co-creative journey and a collaborative journey here together. A lot of y'all's feedback does inspire, you know, my future channels, the messages that Spirit brings to and through me, as well as, you know, I want to return to doing more energy calibration and guided meditation videos. However, I want to make sure there's an audience who's actually going to receive them and benefit from them, as well as inspire what I channel. So comment down below if that calls to you. And as always, like I said, the information for my sessions are also down below. All right, I'm sending you love, hugs, and gratitude. Thank you for your time and your attention. And I will be back soon. Mwah.